Didn't know?
Bow, now, now, now.
Your ass better call somebody.
Bow, now, now,
It's
bow,
me,
now.
the DAPLOC at the K, and I got T-Lee with me. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Oh man, we had to start it off like that. Shout outs to Road Dogg, Jesse James. You know what I mean? Going through some stuff right now. That's
Yeah, boy.
insane, man. Like what?
Gotta wish the Road Dogg the best.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? All that they're doing with NXT and oh man, that's just like
Yeah.
I want to talk about that for a second before we even get into Fastlane. Can we do that? Because like
Yeah.
we keep going over it. I mean, the main part for me, other than Io Shirai and Tony Spark.
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm. No, not Tony Storm. It's last name Spark. The new one that gave Io Shirai a run for her money.
Oh, let me see here.
Fuck.
God damn it. No, it's not showing up there.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about. Tony Storm is different. That's thick thighs, no lies. Just like every time she comes on the screen, my wife looks at me and she's like, "Go ahead, say it." I'm like, "I don't have anything to say." She's like, "Mm-hmm." Like, all right, man, she got some thick old thighs, man. God damn. It's terrible, but like it's the truth. It's fact. It's so factual. Like she's but the ending, okay, it was very climactic the whole way through. I mean, Jordan Devlin, fucking crazy moves
He's great.
Against Kushida. Oh my gosh, that was like, it's like every NXT is slated to be either a pay-per-view caliber or a go home show caliber kind of thing. You know what I mean? And you're always getting something good for it. The end of it, when all you hear is Shawn Michaels entrance music. I'm like, okay, this is different. Doesn't he run NXT UK?
Yeah. Zoe Stark.
My dude comes out. For those of you who didn't watch, spoiler alert, give you a minute to, you know what I mean? My dude comes out, says absolutely nothing. Devlin and fucking the leader of Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, formerly El Fantasma.
El Hijo del Fantasma. Yeah. He's standing there. Devlin's standing there. Shawn comes out, picks up the ladder, pushes it in the ring, looks at both of them, and just gives them the guns and walks away.
He's the best.
He's great.
He's the best. He's just the best.
Oh my gosh, what do you mean? How are you doing this? How are you gonna put? And you know what? You know why it's iconic? That it's ironically iconic. Iconic that Jordan Devlin and my dude El Hijo, I'll just call him El Hijo for now. But that they're fighting in the same manner that about 25, 30 years ago, Shawn and Razor fought.
Yep.
Coming off a hiatus, different circumstances for the hiatus, but coming back off a hiatus, you know what I mean? Having someone, well, it's opposite where Fantasma has someone backing him and Devlin doesn't. But even then, like the whole, like there is a way to tell the same story from a different angle and get a different result.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's a million ways you can go with a basic structure, right?
Yeah. So, I just wanted to touch base on that because we always talk about how NXT is the best 2 hours of wrestling, period. Every week. And if you ain't doing anything on a Wednesday at 8 o'clock, tune into USA. Excuse me, check that out. I mean, Raw and SmackDown are nice too. SmackDown is definitely, some proper things, but NXT is the brand. I just have to say it.
I know.
You know what I mean? Even though some people who, are the might disagree.
They're free to, but they're fucking wrong.
Definite. All right. So that being said, let's jump into Fastlane and see what happened there, because the Tough Talks
I'll
title
tell you what happened there.
was up for defense, and definitely there were some results that were unexpected.
Boom.
So, going from the top here, Riddle defeated Mustafa Ali with Mace Reckoning and Slapjack and T-Bar.
Yeah, on the pre-show. And yeah, I mean, no surprise there, right? It was a great match, but they don't seem to really want to do much of anything with Retribution or Mustafa, aka brand new accent. New gimmick, new accent. Who dis?
Debbie.
But yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably get to it later, but looks like they're kind of getting rid of Retribution.
Yeah, it seems a little volatile. So, we'll see. When, you know what I mean? When you, yes, okay. I'm at the point where, okay, you can go upstairs now. And are you going outside? Pick one. Pardon? Okay, good, excellent. So, yeah, it never stops. That was my daughter popping in to let me know that I'm less in control than I think I am.
Yeah, you are.
You know, that's life, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna get back into the rundown. I got people messaging me while I'm live. It's amazing that you can be connected to someone and it says this person is going live and still manage to communicate with them during that live. I love all of you people. You make my day. So
blocked,
next week,
blocked.
Telling you. So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald defeated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking after I saw that.
Thank God they did, because fuck me, would that have been depressing. Like,
what, the me being right part or them being the title holders?
Both.
Oh,
no, just the lack of creativity and lack of creativity in I just accidentally had my PlayStation app on my phone because I got a message. The lack of creativity that would imply going on within the creative department at WWE of like, what do we do here? Something new, something exciting, something that has not been done before. Got it. Tag champs that, get this, don't like each other, and are doomed to break up. Let's do that. Have we done that before? No? Let's go.
Sounds great.
It's like, actually, we did do that before. Who said that? Fired. Also, did we do that again? Did we? Yeah, but I don't think we did it with Sasha before. Right. Okay, yeah. No, we've never had Sasha with somebody that was, winning the tag champs just to start a feud. Never. Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's go. Greenlit.
But wasn't that like the last episode with Sasha and Bailey?
Nope.
Who knows?
Don't know what you're talking about. Fired.
So for anybody who's keeping score, so far it's 2-2 because Tilly and I both picked Riddle to win, and we also picked Sasha and Bianca to win based on the fact that it just made sense with the WWE math.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing where you this was the opposite of the main event, where you convinced me to change my pick, which would have been right.
Yeah.
Whereas in the main event, I've never been so happy to have been wrong and to have convinced somebody of false information in my life. Because if I had picked Daniel Bryan, spoilers, if I had picked Daniel Bryan and not convinced you to pick Daniel Bryan as well,
Yeah.
my baby wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be sitting at the head of the table.
Yeah.
I had to, you know what? This was my recompense because with Rikishi signing my title and then Roman like influencing the purchase of the other one, it was almost like I had to say sorry for not picking him to win. So nothing against Daniel Bryan, but it was just like, you know, it just he's done
It's
it
your
before.
the purchase was your version of reparations to the Samoan people.
Yes, it was my firm and solid apologetic notion. Yes, yes. Oh man. So, moving on, we had Big E defeat Apollo Crews and retain his Intercontinental Championship, which is the next one on the list. I say the next one on the list because y'all ain't seen it yet, but I have a little reveal for the end of the show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is this is a really good match.
Mhm.
Other than my girl, Lady Ref Jess, uh, did accidentally count a full 3 count on Big E while his shoulders were down, and then when he lifted his shoulders into the bridge, recounted a 3 for Big E against Apollo. So slightly botched finish, but from what I've heard, that was the intended result, was that Apollo would not be winning the title at Fastlane. The immediate beatdown after the loss was kind of a here to save the botch on the finish.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought I saw it. I like it. I heard 3, and there's like
yeah.
no 1, 2, 3, and then it's just like, huh? What the? Okay,
My
cool.
my heart sank a little bit um, when the first 3 got counted, because I was like,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it was like that. It was like the Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns Falls Count Anywhere match, where they got to 9 and then
yes,
all of a sudden stopped counting, and then he got pulled into the thing. Like,
yep, a lot like that.
that's off.
Yeah,
That's
that was
off.
goofy. It was some goofy
Yeah.
shit.
Now this one wasn't announced when we looked over the list.
And let's
So
just make it perfectly clear right now. When we looked over the list, the pre-show was starting.
yeah,
So how last minute is Vince getting with these decisions?
you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. Like, come on, Vince. He
Just
probably
saying, man.
maybe he saw that we were live and he wanted to see what we had to say and just make sure we were wrong about it.
It's like, oh, let's just check in on the free creative page.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. And when I was on the phone with WWE Shop today, I said, y'all need to, they're like, is there anything else we can do for you? I'm like, yeah, bring WWE back to Canada.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's have them do that when
Yeah,
it's no longer gonna be cause an outbreak in whatever
yeah,
city they go to.
of course, definitely.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but
I
like,
don't want them doing what the UFC does, where they're just like, "Oh, this place is opening against all medical advice. Let's go."
they're terrible for
Fucking,
that.
I just want to say that right now. There are currently 2 UFC events planned for next month and the month after that are going to be in stadiums with paying fans. And when you buy your tickets, in the small print, it says that this could lead to exposure to the COVID-19 virus, which can cause, but is not limited to, death, loss of taste, and a couple of other things. And I'm like, Well, that's a good ticket to buy then. That seems like a steal.
That's a definite bargain.
Come on, Dana. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, Dana?
Oh my goodness! Like I've
Let's
heard of
fucking chill.
desperation. I've heard of
Yeah, let's
desperation, but
straight up. Like let's fucking relax a little bit there,
just a
Uncle
smidge.
Dana.
Just a smidge. Okay, so speaking of, so this last minute decision, I guess, Braun Strowman defeating Elias with Jackson Riker at his side in a singles
3
match.
minutes and 50 seconds.
I mean, that's
So
still
they had no time. That was definitely thrown on the card that day. They only did 3 minutes. They did less than 4 minutes.
wow. So that explains why Florida is hosting WrestleMania, because they
Yeah.
made wrestling an essential service.
Yeah, they did that last year at the beginning of the pandemic. That's why AEW was also allowed to continue.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they both stuck around in Florida. Because
Okay.
Florida, for anyone who's not aware, is fucking mental.
Well,
Sorry to
yeah.
any listeners or watchers in Florida, but your state is fucking mental.
Yeah. If you're gonna stay open in the midst of something that's so complicated, yeah, I'd say as much.
You're all fucking crazy.
But hey, we get our entertainment, so
Oh yeah, no, there is nothing better than searching Florida man, your birthday, and clicking the news tab.
oh man. I've heard that, but I just
Oh my Christ, it's good.
oh man, that's gotta be something. That's gotta be something. I think I'm gonna have to do that. But before we get there, we're going to talk about Seth Rollins defeating Shinsuke Nakamura in a singles match.
Yes, I mean these two in a match together is always fireworks. Same as it's going to be at WrestleMania with Seth versus Cesaro. Yeah, I mean this was really good shit. Seth winning was expected but disappointing. I was kind of hoping they were going to give it to Shin after he's been off TV for like almost a month or so. Like it, prior to the match getting booked 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they're both fantastic. I love watching these two. To me, it's a shame that their match was only 13 minutes long. Like I feel like every time they're in the ring, it should be at least 25 minutes because they could just go forever. But yeah, gotta love this. I'm hoping after Cesaro and Seth's feud's done, we get a really good, actually story based and intriguing storyline with either Shin and Cesaro or Shin and Seth.
Okay. That would be interesting, engaging. Speaking of engaging, 19 minutes. Oh, we're at so far. We are at 3-2 with the Big E victory, and then 4-3 with the Seth victory because we both picked Seth, but I picked Big E.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
Yep, this was the one where I had to go against every Irish cell in my body and pick a Scotsman over a Mick, and it hurt to do, but it was worth it.
It paid off. It did pay off.
And I promise it'll never happen again.
Well, so that's interesting because that tied it up, and then that was the last opportunity for us to have split it because we both picked. Well, this is a technicality here. One picked not Randy, and one picked Alexa by way of the Fiend. So knowing that it still ended up as a tie and not being a source, a sore sport. You want to reload it?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Not
reloading it didn't help last time.
Oh, okay. not being a sore sport and knowing there's I'm like I have an affinity for technicalities, but I'm just like, all right, so how does this work? Because I specifically called almost exactly what happened. And
So did
you
I. I said the reason I said not Alexa or not Randy was because
Yeah,
I said the Fiend is coming back tonight,
you did. You did.
and I
But
I wasn't sure if Alexa was going to turn into like if it was going to go black and then Alexa was the Fiend, or but like yeah, it was we were both exactly right.
yeah, I guess now that I play it back,
Because I also referenced it because you brought the technicality thing up last week, and I was like, no, you know what I mean by not Randy.
yeah, no, I knew what you meant, but I was just like, okay, like this is that 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, yep.
Oh man, that's
Hundo.
great. That's great. That's awesome. So yeah, that was the deciding match, and then we have the one that I could have, if I maintained my course, won with. Excuse me, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman defeating Daniel Bryan in a
Yep,
singles match for the WWE Universal Championship with Edge as a special guest enforcer.
yep.
That
And
one ended
great
with.
match. They got a full 30.
Mm-hmm.
Um, excuse me. It's very cool. At one point, Daniel decided to cover his own ass. He was going to attack Edge to make sure he couldn't get involved. That turned out to be a mistake. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And while Daniel did exactly what he said he would and made Roman Reigns tap, there was no ref in there at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and Edge was like, "Well, fuck this," and took a chair to old Bryan Danielson's back
Mm.
and started what I have been praying for, which is heel Edge, the return of the Rated R Superstar, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
bro.
Oh man, that if that is the case, we
Bring back
got.
Lita. Let's do another live sex show on Raw tonight.
That's great. I'm sitting here just like I mean, like for WrestleMania, I have another shirt. Let's just put it that way.
Nice, nice.
Let's just put it that way. We'll leave it for then, but that's my call. I'm making my call this far in advance. I know with it being a triple threat, this is a gutsy call, but I mean, it's a call I'm gonna make. It's just what it is. So yeah, let's get into Raw for a minute.
I just wanna read something out here.
Okay.
Um, August 30th, 2016. Headline: Florida man Vladimir Putin arrested on trespassing charges.
Really?
Yeah, I want to point out Vladimir Putin that lives in Florida arrested on trespassing charges.
Okay.
Was reported with also had an indecent exposure charge, which will tell you a little bit of what he was doing. Was uh, arrested in a parking lot on August 30th, 2016, with his 8-year-old son in the back seat. Vladimir Putin is not what you would expect him to look like. Does not look Russian. Um, kind of looks more along the lines of Gucci Mane.
Nah.
But yeah, so that's why we love you, Florida, because you're fucking insane.
Yep. Yeah, on some other shit.
One more here. August 30th, 2008. Florida man arrested for giving girlfriend a wet willy.
Armless Florida man charged after allegedly using feet to stab. What? To stab tourists with
See?
scissors. What? Oh my
Oh, Florida
gosh.
rules.
Florida man hit dad in the face with pizza after learning he helped deliver him. Oh my gosh. Wow,
Oh,
this
it's
is definitely
awesome.
something interesting. Well, we'll get back to some fun Florida man facts after. But
Yeah.
on Raw, Bobby Lashley defeated Sheamus.
Yes. So Sheamus decided that he wanted to go after Bobby, probably to try to secure himself some sort of a future title shot. He went in. It was a great match. They went hard. They were hitting each other. That's what I wanted to mention too about the match between Sheamus and Drew.
McIntyre.
Boy, those boys were hitting each other hard.
Oh, full out.
Holy shit! If you noticed, the next day when they had the backstage interview or backstage segment rather between Scrap Daddy, aka Adam Pearce, and Drew for talking about the uh, handicap match,
Mm-hmm.
Drew had a black eye. Like
Sheamus had
Drew's,
a chunk. Sheamus had a chunk taken out of his back.
yeah, they really kicked the living shit out of each other in that match.
Yeah.
And for Sheamus to then go on to pull off the match he pulled off with Bobby this time, fucking fantastic. He
Yep.
even went up and he even fought against Cedric and Shelton, or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin. Um, and yeah, he came up short, but Sheamus continuing to prove his worth and why he's been consistently in the WWE this whole time. Like he's one of the few guys who came up in his class that have never left and come back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of a class of their own, Asuka defeated Peyton Royce. Now, Peyton Royce, like, listen, man, these some of these WWE superstars kind of be putting me in a disposition. I can't be watching this show with my wife beside me and having some of these booties pop out and shit like that. It's just not right,
Hey,
okay? Not right. It's just not right.
miss the Iconics. Need to see her next to Billy again. Because I ain't got
Peyton.
no wife, so I can watch everything guilt free. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, Tilly Graves, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, one of the realest you'll ever come across. Oh, that's great. But no, it was a good match still. I'm
It was a very
surprised
good match.
Peyton gave her as much of a run as she did.
So was
But,
I. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Peyton clearly been putting the work in.
yeah, definitely. And this one caught me off guard, like the boot to the face that Hardy caught.
Oh, sorry, wait, before we go on, one thing we didn't mention, I just
Yeah.
realized it afterwards. Right after Asuka beat
Oh
Peyton,
yeah.
Rhea
Oh,
Ripley,
just
this
came
is
out.
my brutality, comes
Oh,
out, um, challenged Asuka to a match at WrestleMania. Asuka said a bunch of stuff in angry Japanese, and
loved it.
then I love it too. It's my favorite thing. And
Oh,
yeah, cool. We're gonna get canceled. And then she,
I stopped. I stopped.
and and then she said that Rhea is not ready for Asuka, but she accepts.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's fucking go.
Let's go. It's
That's gonna
gonna
be a
be
fucking great
bonkers.
match.
Yeah, man. Like
They're
it's
gonna
like
kick the shit out of each other.
because Rhea's a big girl, so like they'll be able to do some of that acrobatic shit that Asuka is
Hmm.
known for. And
Hmm.
like Asuka's a pretty strong woman, so like
Oh, very.
yeah, so like you know what I mean. They're gonna be able to drop some serious bombs. But this was a surprise when he came out. I thought he was just gonna upset him, and he didn't. But
Hmm.
the Miz defeated Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. So here's the only problem I have with this.
Yeah,
When's the last time Jeff won a match?
has he in the last year?
I don't know. Um, and beyond that, well, yeah, because he won the feud against Sheamus early in the pandemic, but
And Corbin.
and Corbin, but this match was essentially like from a writing perspective, this match was essentially to put Miz over after his brutal losses to Bobby Lashley and losing the title. This was to put Miz over, leading into so that he looks strong going into WrestleMania, right? Where he is facing Bad Bunny. I love Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny can do some cool shit that you wouldn't expect out of somebody who hasn't been working in the ring, right? But I don't know that you have to put The Miz so far over Jeff Hardy to make it look like he has a chance in a match against a non-wrestler.
Unless they're trying to make him look strong so Bad Bunny could shame him.
Also possible. And once again, I love Bad Bunny. I think it's very cool what he's doing coming into the WWE, the way he's done it. All this stuff is very, very cool. He's not going to be around forever. I think this WrestleMania match is kind of his thing going. But he has to. He should lose. Like, he should lose this match against Miz. Miz should win. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I really hope they're not putting Miz over Jeff to then put Bad Bunny over Miz, because that reflects poorly on Jeff, especially considering Miz essentially beat Jeff clean as a whistle.
A whistle.
Like, it's rough.
Hey man, I don't write the scripts. I just seek entertainment through them.
We need to move Jeff over to SmackDown.
Yeah. Didn't he just come over from SmackDown though?
I don't remember, and if he did, I don't give a shit. Put him back.
Yeah, he was on SmackDown. They brought him over.
I think that's where he faced Sheamus when he was on SmackDown. So, like, once again, they liked him on SmackDown and were using him pretty well on SmackDown. On Raw, he's, job hardy.
Oh,
sorry.
Hey, it's not me talking about. And last year, this time, it was Kofi Mania, and this year there are shades of it as Kofi Kingston defeats AJ Styles.
Yeah, this is all build up to New Day versus AJ and Omos. They've said it 100 different ways on the air. At Mania for the titles. I'll say my prediction right the fuck now. AJ and Omos are getting those titles.
I have to agree with you, unfortunately. Why put him in his first match?
Yeah, and this is probably AJ's last WrestleMania. He signed a contract last year and he said, this is the last contract I'm ever going to sign because I want to retire and chill. So I think you put him over here for his last WrestleMania. He'll lose on his way out, maybe to Omos, which would be sick. Good way to put Omos over.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. I like that they're using the SOS as a finisher again.
Yeah, I do too. I'm hesitant to think they're going to continue that streak because they did that again for a little bit last year or 2 years ago, I think it was. And it didn't last.
Oh, okay. We'll see where it goes. All right.
I love the SOS.
We got Drew McIntyre defeating Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin in a 1-on-2 handicap match.
I mean, no surprise here. Once they made it and Drew said, yeah, I'll do a 1-on-2 handicap match, and if I win, they're both banned from ringside at WrestleMania. It was like, yep, well, that's what's going to happen.
Guess they're banned.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's interesting. It makes you wonder what they're going to do at Mania. As of right now, my thought is at Mania, they're banned from ringside because they want to make Bobby look even stronger, and he's going to win at Mania without any help.
I mean, My most recent acquisition would hold less merit if he didn't win. So I'm kind of in the Bobby bin.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
in
I think Bobby's gonna win.
the Bobby bin for that one.
Yep.
Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler. Sorry, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Well,
Yes. Um. So I mean, Dana and Mandy are a really good team. And they work well together. So I'm happy to see once again. It's something where if you're gonna have women's tag team championship titles, you better have some fucking women's tag teams.
yeah,
Dana and Mandy have been together for like 5, 6 months ish.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
And what does that make them? That makes them the longest held together women's tag team
Oh my.
currently active in the WWE. Just let that sink in,
Oh man.
you know.
Are
So
they?
close. They got to
Well,
be close to it.
it has to be Shayna and Nia because they've had the titles for like 8 months now, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's they're one of the longest together
Yeah,
that are currently
Dana.
active.
Yes, yes, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, but yeah, good match. Reginald, I'm getting a little bit annoyed with Reginald. Um,
So is Shayna.
yeah, I like Reginald. I think he's funny. I think he's got. I think he's really good character. Like he does really good character work.
Hmm.
And is from before we ever saw him do anything, what he can do is surprisingly athletic and agile and smooth. Like the flips and crazy shit this guy does look great. He takes good bumps. He's awesome. I just don't understand what they're doing with him much, other than he's now Nia Jax's boy toy that Sasha has mixed feelings for.
I don't know. Maybe they'll put him in the 205 live category or
Oh,
205
that'd be
category.
sick. Yeah, I just mean in this feud.
This feud,
Like,
he's just a distraction.
yeah. So
That's about it. So that's all I
yeah,
see.
yeah. But
Good
once
save.
again, I like him. He's cool. He's really good. I think he was a surprisingly welcome addition. Because when they first introduced him as just here's Carmella's sommelier, I was like, does Carmella need random dude walking around like gimmick? Like I don't know if she does. And now she's kind of killing it. Or like,
Yeah.
sorry, now he is like getting storylines working around. It just seems strange to me that everything he's doing is exclusive to the women's divisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you know what the women's division needs? A man. Strange.
It sounds like Vince all over
It
again.
does. It
Sounds
does.
like it
Sounds like
does.
Vince, both McMahon and Russo.
Yeah. Oh man. So to close this off, and I mean like they did it with stellar fashion. Randy Orton summoned the Fiend.
Yeah, this was. I mean, there's the only thing I can really say about this as a whole is this is fucking awesome.
Mm.
Like, so fun. The Fiend's new melted Fiend look is just so sick. It looks so dirty.
It's Grizzly. Like when I first saw it, I'm just like when I saw him come out, I'm like, okay, they're probably gonna have him look like the way he looked before, and he's gonna have it. He's gonna be like he never got burnt. Nah, he got charred like Charizard. He got Charizard.
Yeah. Yeah. I never expected them to kind of like lean in as heavy as they did to. Oh, right. We saw him get set on fire a month and a half ago. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, the fact that when he came back, he does look that fucked up is
Mhm.
huge plus. Like big thumbs up, mwah, chef's kiss, all that shit.
All that shit. That's good. That's the good stuff. That's the
Yeah,
stuff we watch this for. That's the stuff.
yeah, and that's gonna be fun at WrestleMania too,
Yeah.
because you bet your ass the Fiend's coming in for that fucking W on this one. The Fiend is not
Mm.
losing this match. There's because like I've said WWE creative is stupid a lot, but nobody is that stupid.
Let's hope not, because they'd be ruining a really good storyline if they were.
Yeah, nobody can possibly be that stupid. And I say that now so that when they are that stupid, I can yell at them with righteous anger.
Righteous anger, he says.
my favorite emotion is righteous indignation.
That's great. I don't even think I've heard that terminology in a minute. Oh man. So we're gonna jump into SmackDown results.
Yeah. Smack diggity.
March 26th. And it started off with Daniel Bryan's Universal title demand.
Yep. So Brian came out to complain about the fact that Edge cost him the Universal title the night before, saying that he did exactly what he said he was going to do for the first time in Roman's entire career. He was made to tap out. Blamed Edge for it didn't, it didn't count because you came in and hit me with a chair. Not exactly true, because there was no ref in there. So at some point, Daniel was not going to be able to hold that hold on him for much longer than the bell lock, and he would have had to try to either get the referee to wake up or call him ref from the back or something like that. Edge was kind of in the middle of all of that, so yeah, I mean it was a little bit of a strange thing. Daniel demanded a rematch. When he said he wouldn't get that, he said he wants to face the winner of Edge versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Adam Pearce said, that's fucking insane because I'm not going to make them fight twice in one night. And he said, well, I had to fight twice in one night when I had to fight after the Hell no, what's it called? Elimination Chamber match and then fight for the Universal title against Roman right after and blah, blah, blah. There's a double standard. And then Adam Pearce said, yeah, that's true, but still no. And Daniel said, okay, well then I want them to face each other on night one, and I'll face the winner on night two. And at that point, Edge had enough. Edge was like, Daniel, you're a bitch. And you're being a little bitch, and stop it, bitch. And Edge said, or Daniel Bryan said, I'm not a bitch. You're a bitch. You probably don't even recycle. I'm paraphrasing here. But
That was great. I'm sitting here like, I don't remember hearing that, but I'm gonna go with it because he is a green guy.
like, I'm gonna get in my Prius and run you over. Again, paraphrasing. But then they, Adam Pearce was like, well, I'm gonna deliberate this and I'll get back to you later. Yeah, well, I mean, I think did they set up their own thing for that one in particular? No, they didn't. So we'll get to it now. At the end of the night, Adam Pearce decided that at WrestleMania there will be a triple threat match: Edge versus Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. I don't know how I feel about this. I love triple threat matches. Yeah. I love all three of these guys.
They're doing the big things.
Yeah, but I also really love a really well-planned singles match. And Edge won the Royal Rumble from starting at number 1 and beating all 29 other guys.
Mhm.
To me, in storyline, that means he should get a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
But if he's already established himself as the best of 30, why can't he not establish himself as the best of 3?
Because that's not the deal. Like, that's not the arrangement that is set up, right? Like, the arrangement is set up is a guaranteed main event
Match.
spot
Yeah, he's still
with
getting
the
that.
Universal Champion. And the implication is that that is a singles match. Now, obviously, the storyline, everything like that. But it's a part of me really wanted to see either Edge versus Daniel Bryan in an amazing main event at WrestleMania, or Edge versus Roman Reigns in an amazing main event at WrestleMania. It's kind of like when the title match at WrestleMania between Becky and Ronda became Becky and Ronda and Charlotte. So, yeah, but like I said, it's going to be a fucking phenomenal match either way. Like, Daniel Bryan and Edge won't let it be anything less. Roman has been putting on bangers since he came back and went heel. So, I have no doubt that it's going to be a fantastic match. It's just, I had kind of hyped myself into the idea of the main event singles title match, which we'll still get between Bobby and Drew. So,
yeah. All right. So moving forward, we got Seth Rollins defeating Shinsuke Nakamura again.
Whew, yeah, hadn't seen that in a while.
No.
It's been a long time since we'd seen Seth versus Shinsuke. It had almost been 23 and a half hours. But yeah, I mean, the only real thing to say at this one was that Rollins, got attacked afterwards by Cesaro, but he managed to run away to the back. Cesaro found him again and gave him an old backstage swingeroo for about 3 minutes straight.
Oh, wow.
Making Cesaro versus Cesaro versus Seth Rollins official for WrestleMania 37.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Apollo Crews with Otis and Chad Gable defeated Big E and the Street Profits.
Yeah, big departure here for the creative department. They're like, all right, so we've got this feud going between Apollo and Big E. We also have a quasi feud going between Chad, Gable, and Otis against the Street Profits. Throw them all in a match together. 6-man tag match. Playa. Everybody is happy, right? Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Teddy Long up in this bitch. But yeah, this was it was a fun match. Basically, this is a that happened scenario.
Oh, no.
I just don't want to just say that and diminish anything that is happening with any of these guys right now, because I like all of them. It's just like it didn't really do anything for anybody.
Well, it happened. I guess that's all there is to say. Bianca Belair defeats Natalya.
Yeah. I mean, this was also again, no surprise here, because Bianca's in a storyline on a build up to a title match at WrestleMania, whereas Natalya, they're building her as a tag team with Tamina, so they don't really need to build up Natalya's strengths as a singles competitor right now, whereas Bianca, they do need to build her stats, sort of thing. So makes sense that they would do it this way. I love Natalya, but this is one of those things where, having her lose a singles match it's not actually burying her in any way, shape, or form, because she's her future for the next little while is as a tag team competitor. for the titles.
Yep. Rey Mysterio defeated Dolph Ziggler.
Yep, that happened.
And that is your SmackDown rundown. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't expect
man.
that. I didn't expect that to the main event of this show to be a that happened moment. But here we are,
It really
because
was.
the true ending of SmackDown was the thing that we talked about with Scrap Daddy deciding to make the main event at WrestleMania a triple threat match.
Yep.
Which, by the way, he should start calling himself Scrap Daddy, even though he's not wrestling anymore again, because that's a fucking dope name. Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce. Like, let's go.
Just start referring to himself in the third person. It's like they walk up to him,
All day.
Adam. I don't really like this idea that you made. Well, Scrap Daddy thinks.
He shouldn't even be cocky with it, though. It should literally be like things where he's like, you know what? Let Scrap Daddy consider that, and then just walk away. Scrap Daddy needs to meditate on that thought. Scrap Daddy will be with you later. Just consistently, every time he talks, call himself Scrap Daddy.
Scrap Daddy.
And
man.
Go follow him on Twitter, by the way. He's no Iron Sheik, but he is a good Twitter follower. Follow. Scrap Daddy AP.
Well, I was definitely sure to call the main event, but there was some of the fights in the undercard that I was off on. So if we want to dive into the UFC after talking about or mentioning New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and AEW as other brands you might want to check, but not in place of NXT or SmackDown.
Yeah, nothing in place of NXT.
Nothing in place of NXT.
No.
Like if you're watching any of those other ones, watch them after NXT. You can't.
Yeah. In fact, watch NXT twice and then go to the other shit.
Yeah. I agree with Tilly. We don't always agree, but
yeah,
right there, that guy.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. All right, cool.
So UFC was huge on Saturday. Have you seen the knockout?
I didn't. I saw. All I saw. Like I was on fucking. I opened my Facebook the next day and I saw it on Boy Wonder's timeline. All I saw was this. Wait, hold on. It doesn't do it justice from that side. I gotta turn this way. All I saw was this.
Oh yeah. Well, it got worse. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Let me find something to send you real quick because oh boy. It was kind of disgusting and mostly fucking terrifying. Where my man Stipe Miocic's leg fell underneath him in a real horrific, scary way.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad. Fuck, I'm having trouble finding it. But while I'm doing this, I'll just say, I mean, it was great. The main card was great overall. Fight of the night was undoubtedly Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luque. Tyron was on the last fight of his current UFC contract. He had lost his last. Let me see here. He lost against Usman, then he lost against Burns, then he lost against Colby. So he lost his last three, and really needed a win here, especially because, like I said, he was on his last fight of his contract, and unfortunately, he did not. However, he wasn't the same Tyron that lost those fights, because the Tyron that lost those fights threw zero offense throughout the whole fight, whereas Tyron in this fight came out like a motherfucker, like came out running, and yeah, it was absolutely fantastic work. I'm gonna just share this link to you, my friend. Paste. And then we can talk about this. So, that fight was great. Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida, good fight. Hurts me to give any credit at all to Sean O'Malley because he's a little shit, and I hate him. But he KO'd Thomas Almeida, took to the third round. In the first round, he made one of the most horrific errors in judgment that I've ever seen a fighter make, where he thought he got a knockoff KO and started walking off, and the ref's like, "The fuck are you doing?" Like, I didn't say stop, and Thomas Almeida got back up, and then it took another 2 rounds. This is how strong Thomas' his chin is. It took 2 more rounds for him to get him hurt enough to finish the job again. So Sean O'Malley has a lot of work to do, because if you put him up there against the real killers in that division, I think he gets starched again. I think the same thing happens to him that happened against Chito Vera, and he is going to have a severe fall coming up. And I think that's going to happen pretty soon. The only other big one on the main card, Jamie Malarkey, underdog against Kama Worthy, came out, and in 46 seconds into the first round of the very first fight of the main card, just hit the most picture perfect left hook right on the button on the chin and put Kama's lights all the way out. Yeah, that was fucking insane. Did that link work for you? Did you see the knockout?
Yeah, I saw the knockout and the way his leg folded under him.
Yeah.
No.
So that was brutal. For people
No
who don't know,
thanks.
yeah, for people who don't know, this was the second fight between Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. The first fight happened actually just a little over 3 years ago now. Francis had only been doing MMA for a few years at that point, but had some stellar knockouts, including the one that everyone remembers against Alistair Overeem, where he cocked the uppercut all the way back to his knee, and then came up and just nearly took Alistair's head clean off. He did a very similar thing as you just saw to Stipe last night. But in the first fight, he tried to do that, and Stipe, with held on, kept wrestling him. This time, when Stipe went to wrestle Francis, it was made very clear very quickly Francis has been working on his wrestling, because not only did Francis stuff the single leg takedown that Stipe shot, he sprawled, stopped the takedown, and then transitioned and took Stipe's back. Like, he was on Stipe's back and hitting him from behind with these just completely unblocked punches to the side of the mush. It was not good. I thought it was going to be over right then and there. And at that point, I said, this is over. Because if Stipe's wrestling isn't going to work against Francis, nothing's going to work against Francis. And sure enough, the very next round, 52 seconds into the second round, what you just saw, Block, happened, and Stipe wins all the way to sleep, losing his title. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next. Up is probably going to be either Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic 3 for the trilogy fight, or it'll be Francis Ngannou versus John Jones at heavyweight. John Jones is currently doing the exact same thing he did last year, where he is saying he's not paid enough, and if they want him to fight at heavyweight, then they need to pay him correctly. Here's the thing. I said this last year. I'll say it again this year. Do I think UFC fighters deserve and need to be paid more? 100% yes. Absolutely, they need to. Are they paid less than NBA, NFL, NHL, other major sports stars? Yes, again. They are paid way less, and they should be paid as much, if not more than them. Here's the other problem. Those other sports have a union that allows them as a group, even though they face each other in competition, allows them as a group to make sure that they get paid enough. UFC fighters and mixed martial arts fighters all over the world do not have a union. Every time they've tried to start a union, it fails, because for some reason, MMA fighters cannot wrap their head around something being good for all of them at once. And because of that, they destroy their own unions, never get them off the ground. And if you're going to do that, and this is including John Jones, by the way, John Jones is, as far as anybody can tell, has done almost less than nothing to try to get a fighters union started. But this is hard for me because I don't like siding with a large corporation. But if you signed a contract for a certain number of fights that says you will fight for this amount of money this many times, there's a couple thoughts I have on that. One, you should fight that many times for that or around that pay because you have signed the contract. You're a grown-ass man who fights in a cage. You can make your own decisions. And if you don't want to fight for that amount of money, or you want to fight for that amount of money for a smaller number of fights, don't fucking sign the contract that says you should fight for that much money on that many fights.
Makes sense.
Seems a fairly simple concept to me.
It's reasonable, yeah.
And the other thing beyond that is I also believe you have the right, and not just the right, not the obligation, but you're a smart person to try to renegotiate that contract for more money every chance you can. You get a couple wins, try to renegotiate that. Try to get more money. You do you, and you get your paper however you need to get it. What then looks stupid, though, is when you say that you're trying to get more money and they're not giving it to you, so you're not going to do it. You can't blame them for that. Their job is to separate with as little money as they can to get the product out that they want to get out, right? That's just what a business is. Put as much out, spending the least that you can. So let's not just try to say, oh, well, that the UFC is being unreasonable then. John Jones is being unreasonable too. Shouldn't have signed the contract. Shouldn't have got popped for steroids 3 times. Shouldn't have had a DUI where you hit a pregnant woman's car and ran away. Should not, at the start of the pandemic, have been breaking lockdown to go downtown and harass the homeless while shooting a gun off in the air at 2 a.m. Also should not claim to be the baddest man on the planet, and then, when you get pulled over for going downtown, driving drunk, shooting a gun off in the air, and harassing the homeless, be caught on an officer's body camera crying to the cop.
Yeah, that doesn't establish yourself as the baddest man on the planet.
That's just me. That's just me.
Yikes.
Yeah, like maybe I'm wrong, but that's just me. I don't think you seem like the baddest motherfucker or the hardest motherfucker or the most well put together motherfucker if you're going out doing all those things in the first place. But if you go out and do all those things and then you're bawling your eyes out to the cop because you can't say the alphabet backwards or walk in a fucking straight line or comprehend any fucking thing the cop's saying, then you should shut the fuck up, take the money you're offered, and fucking fight who you're told.
Who the fuck knows how to say the alphabet backwards?
You don't have to do it smoothly. You just have to be able to say the letters. Z, okay. Y, X, W. Like, that's, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and it's, all it is to show that you're mentally there enough that you can go, like, that you can do it. They're not trying to see if you're like, holy shit, this guy's proficient, because then you could just memorize it.
Okay.
And also, if you can't walk in a straight line, or when the cop says, put one foot on the line, put the next foot in front of that foot, heel to toe, and then continue doing that type of walk on the straight line. You can't then fuck up which foot you put in front first, get halfway down it and go, oh wait, was I supposed to come back too? Okay, let me start over. And then start crying out of confusion and frustration. I just, I'm sick of John Jones. He's a cheater. He's a bitch.
Fuck
out of here.
like as long as we've been doing Tough Talks, this has been his opinion. So it's just
It won't change. It won't change. I used to be a John Jones fan. He fucked it up, not me.
Yeah.
He's an embarrassment to the sport I love most. So I would be happy. I mean, I wouldn't be happy with this because I want him to fight Francis because I want him to get. I would like to see John Jones get decapitated by an uppercut and see his head land in Dana's lap. That would be great. But I wouldn't be super upset if UFC was just like, fuck it, and cut him. Just terminate his contract. Say, oh, you think you're not getting enough money over here? Go over to Bellator.
Yeah. Oh man.
See if they can afford you, stupid.
Oh man. And our AV guy, our backstage handler, he agrees with you 10,000% on John Jones. I just think it's enough. I don't know. You know how I feel about media and people of color. So
hey, and guess what? If it wasn't for all the shit he's done, I would agree. Like, if it wasn't for all the shit that he has fucked his own legacy up on, I'd be like, yo, fuck the UFC. Pay John Jones his money because he's the greatest of all time. However, in my book, you can't be the greatest of all time if you're a cheater.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're talking UFC standards because Ric Flair is...
No, yeah, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is the greatest of all time.
And then you got Eddie Guerrero. So...
Yep.
You know,
once again, in wrestling, you're supposed to cheat. Because as long as the ref doesn't see it, that ain't cheating.
Okay.
But in the UFC, if you get popped taking Turbinol, which is illegal in every single country on the planet and only used by power lifters and biker gang members from the 80s, and then you still test positive for that same thing because you used it and you're getting what's called picograms in your subsequent tests, and everyone's just like, let him go, it's fine. That doesn't sit well with me. Doesn't sit well with me. The UFC has treated him way too well. Everyone talks about, the UFC is always fucking John Jones. Let's just point something out here. Anybody who thinks the UFC has not been overly kind to Mr. Jonathan Bones Jones, the problem with that argument is he tested positive and got stripped of his title. He came back, and his first fight was for that same title. He won, tested positive again. It was overturned to a no contest. Daniel Cormier was given the belt back again, and then he came back and popped again for that fight. When he popped again for that fight and came back, every test he's taken since then has had trace amounts of that substance he was banned for in his piss tests, which should disqualify him from being in that event until he pisses clean, right? Because if you piss hot, you're taken off the card. You get suspended. So why didn't that happen to him? Not only did that not happen to him, on 6 days' notice, when he tested positive still, pissed hot, the Nevada State Athletic Commission said, you are not fighting on this card. You just pissed hot. You're still under the effects of the drug you used to cheat when we suspended you last time. What did the UFC do? They called California, said, hey, will you let him fight? California said, uh-huh. And the UFC was like, perfect. And on 6 days max notice, they moved the fight into a completely different state where all the fighters had to pay more taxes on their fight purses just so John Jones could be the main event of a fucking pay-per-view. They have never done that in the history of the UFC for anybody else. The only person that they've allowed to get away with that is John Bones Jones. And that, to me, says everything you need to know about who is treating who, or who is in the right in this argument. Does the UFC treat John Jones bad, or do they treat him better than almost everybody else in the company, other than maybe Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
Because they've never even done that for Conor. And you know why? Because Conor's never pissed hot.
Yeah, he's just throwing chairs through windows and shit.
He didn't throw a chair through a window. He threw a dolly through a bus window full of people. Let's get it straight.
Oh, it was a dolly. Forgive me. Like, gotta get my facts straight.
Listen, you throw one dolly through a window, which gets 3 fights canceled due to scratches from the glass on the card that's happening the next day, and you throw one punch at one 56-year-old man in a pub because he won't drink your whiskey, and all of a sudden you're the fucking bad guy. Get out of here.
No, man. That's great. That is great.
Once again, though, I admit that the UFC gives very preferential special treatment to Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
But they also give ridiculous preferential treatment, including treatment they would never have to give to Conor, to John Bones Jones. Because at least Conor's never done something to cheat.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like.
Oh, I know you're not. I'm just saying that's yeah.
Oh,
I just mean, like, because the argument could be made that, they let Conor get away with anything too. They do. They do, absolutely. And probably more than they should. Definitely more than they should. But John gets some ridiculous special treatment too. And two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? So, like, clean it up. Clean it all up. Fucking get rid of John Bones Jones.
Yeah.
Bury him out in Albuquerque somewhere.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah. And for anybody listening who likes John Bones, I apologize for my rant, but no, I don't, because fuck John Bones. And fuck you.
Oh, shit,
just kidding. Just kidding on the second part.
Oh man, don't go get us canceled now. We got 4 people tuned in to what's going on. This is episode 67 of the independent version of Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block. We have been going in. We got the wrap up done in an hour and 12 minutes. Now,
and that was a 12-minute rant about John Jones. We're getting goddamn good at this.
I know, right? So we're crushing it. So I said I had a reveal at the end of the show. Y'all have heard me talk about it for a while. I've talked about how I firmly believe that the title I made and got signed by Rikishi affected the way the WWE creates their titles now. And I've decided, since getting that title over there, that I was going to work my way down.
You better not have done what I think you did. You better not have done what I think you did. I'm gonna punch you right in the dick next time I see you if you did what I think you did.
So I'm sitting here, right?
You son of a bitch! I hate you so much, you fucking cocksucker. Oh, never mind. I'm good. That's okay. That one's fine.
I got this one. I'll let you get the other one.
That's fine. That's fine. I thought for a second I thought you were gonna zoom down and show a fucking Intercontinental title, and I was gonna lose my goddamn mind. You were getting dick punched.
I'm sitting here at the almighty status right now.
Yeah, no, I was absolutely gonna Ric Flair the fuck out of you next time I saw you.
You know what? That's probably why I didn't get it, because I'm telling you, I sat here and I'm like, the world looks like the Universal. I don't want to get the two that look the same, but I'm like, but it's black and that one's red. And I'm just like, you're right. And then I looked at the Intercontinental. I'm just like, ooh, but this one and Big E's a champ. So either way, I'm like, well, Big E's a champ, Bobby's a champ. Big E's a champ, Bobby's a champ. Either way, it's a brother you support.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
I
got one more thing to send you, by the way. I almost forgot.
Yeah. So I went out and I got this here. I ordered it, I think, on Wednesday, and it got here by Sunday.
Nice. That's fucking good times, especially during a pandemic. That's a solid fucking delivery time.
I'm showing you, fam. It said it was supposed to get here on Thursday, but
Yep.
I always sign up for the email notifications. So I got a notification like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Then I got a notification like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So every time I get a notification, I open my browser and I look at the title and I'm like willing it to get to me. Just like you will get here. Fucking got here yesterday, Sunday.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it got here yesterday. And I was like, all right. What's this? Oh my gosh.
So after,
Oh my god.
UFC now has 3 champions from the continent, and somebody
Ah,
made this.
oh my gosh.
We got
Oh,
Stylebender, we got Francis, and we got Usman, all on the New Day.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I
That
saw
is
that like
too
5 seconds after the fight ended, and I was so happy. I was like, "This is fantastic! It's a great
that is
Photoshop."
great. That is great. Oh man, like who put the title like who put the titles on them like that? That is too much.
Right? So good.
I can't wait till my fucking Photoshop game is up there. I have a couple courses that I gotta study in the coming weeks to actually get my editing and stuff up. But I have a commercial to make, and I don't want to call it a response, but like I have a pitch meeting to do because
Oh,
people are
gotcha. Yep,
yeah
gotcha.
yeah
Under
yeah you know what it is.
Understood.
So yeah. So
Sometimes bitches are bitches, and have always been bitches.
yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Y'all can catch me on Weekly Words in 2 weeks. Also, I'm going to be on the season finale of Play My Song, which you can catch when you watch every Tuesday at 7:30 on private name _ private number on Instagram. So
Hey,
add
best
him up.
gimmick in the game.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. So check that out. That's May 25th, but it's gonna be running up until then. We got Kin Smooth and Noche on tomorrow. So y'all check it out. What else, man? We just like Saturdays is a full day of podcasting. We got the Terrell Effect at 12. Then we have LG's Cooking at 2:30. Then we got the Savage Circle at 5. This week we're gonna have Ezra in house, and we're making lasagna. So
Gang.
gang. So we also have a special guest as well. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
All right. But I think it's hold on. I guess I'll do it, even though you should do it. The last part, if they're not down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
this has been Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block.
and if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Sorry, we got 3 words for you.